students, today we are going to study about distributive pronouns. What are distributive pronouns? As the term suggests, distributive, that is when you are distributing something. Suppose you are distributing chocolates in the class. When it's your birthday, you usually distribute toffees, sweets, and chocolates. So when you distribute, you give it to each and every student who is present in the class. You go individually and give it to each and every one of them. So that is what distribution is. When you are referring or you are going to each individual, that is when distribution happens. Distribution cannot be collectively, that in a group you have distributed. No, you will have to give it to each and every person sitting in a group. That is distribution. Similarly, distributive pronouns, they refer to person or things one at a time, each individual. They describe members of a group individually and not collectively. That is, when you approach a group, suppose there are students of 5 students sitting in a group and you want to distribute sweets, so you'll go and give sweets to each one individually, one to then to the second person, then to the third, then to the fourth, then to the fifth one. So you're approaching each one individually. That is distribution. So distributive pronouns are when you are referring to one person or one thing at a time, and you are referring to everyone individually and not collectively. And that is why these pronouns are always singular. You are dealing with one person or one thing at a time, so they are always singular. What are the terms which we use for distributive pronouns? Each, either, neither. Each of the students. You're talking to each individual, that each of the students in the class will do this. So you're referring to each individual. Either of these boys will submit the copy. So you're referring, there are 2 choices given, you're choosing one, that either of these, either this one or that one will do. Neither, that no individual will do it. So you're pointing out to every individual, one person or a thing at a time. That is distributive pronouns. Let us understand with the help of examples. Here again the definition is given. Pronouns which refer to person or things one at a time, they are called distributive pronouns. Either, neither, each. These are the terms for distributive pronouns. You can drink either tea or coffee. So you're referring to one thing, that you can either have tea or you can have coffee. You cannot have both of them. So you're referring only to one choice at a time. So this either is distributive pronoun. She can neither see TV nor play. So neither this one nor that one. You're referring to each of the choices. Each of us, every person they are referring to, every individual, each of us bought the book. Give the chocolates to each person, to each individual. They are referring to everyone individually. So each, either, neither, these are all distributive pronouns. Let us see some more examples. Each of them gets a prize. So there are a group of people and each one of them will get a prize. Neither of you will go. So no matter how many of you are, neither of you will be. You are referring to each individual, that nobody will be going. Either of these roads lead to the canteen. So there are 2 choices given, but you are saying either, one of them, only one of them is leading to the canteen. So you're referring to one at a time. That is why it is distributive. Each of these pens, they are collectively many pens, but you are referring to each one individually, that each of these cost rupees 70. So distributive pronouns, when you are referring to a person or a thing individually, which is given in a group, but you are referring to each one at a time. That is, and the terms used are each, either, or neither. Then again, now what is the difference between distributive adjective and distributive pronoun? Again, we have studied this so many times for each kind of pronoun. In the case of pronoun, the term should not come along with the noun, then it is adjective. If this each, either, it is used along with the noun, then it will be adjective. Let us see. See, each boy must bring a bag. Here the noun is boy. You're using each with boy. You cannot use pronoun along with noun because pronoun is used in place of noun. It is not used along with noun. So here each boy, so that means this is adjective. If the example is each of the boys must bring the bag, then it is pronoun. So whenever you see these terms, each, either, neither, used along with noun, then they are adjectives. If there is some gap between the two and there are some other preposition or other words added in between, that will become a pronoun. Another example, each student was given a pen, that is adjective. Each of the students was given a pen, that is pronoun. I hope this must be clear to you by now, the difference between adjective and pronoun. Coming to the last kind of pronoun, relative pronoun. Again, students, be very careful. Do not get confused between reflexive pronouns and relative pronouns. Most of the time students tend to get confused between because they are similar terms. What are reflexive pronouns? Terms like myself, yourself, ourselves, himself, herself. When you're referring to the noun itself, you're going back to the noun, that was reflexive. She will do it herself, he will do it himself, that was reflexive pronouns. What are relative pronouns? Let us learn that. Relative pronouns, they are used to join two sentences and they refer to nouns going before them. What does this mean? Let us see. First of all, the words like who, whose, whom, which, that. These are relative pronouns. Again, do not get confused that terms like who, whose, whom are given, so they are interrogative pronouns. No, remember the difference. Interrogative pronouns are used to ask a question. They are used to ask a question. Whose book is this? Who, this house belongs to whom? When you are asking question, then it is interrogative pronoun. But relative pronoun is used to join two sentences and it is used to refer to the noun which is used in the subject. For example, the musician who wrote this song is French. Is this a question? No, this is not a question. This is a statement given. That means that this is not interrogative pronoun. Then let us see what else is given. It is actually talking about two things that are joined together. That this musician wrote this song and this musician is French. Now they have compiled the two sentences as the musician who wrote this song is French. Who is who here? Who is referring to the noun musician. So who is used to join two sentences and it is referring to the noun which is mentioned in the sentence. This is the cake that I ordered. So I ordered a cake and this is that cake. So it is combining two sentences. This is the cake that I ordered. Let us understand in a better way by other examples. For example, the sentence is he has a sister. The sister is a teacher. Now you have to join these two sentences. You are asked to combine these sentences. How will you write? He has a sister and it is given that the sister is a teacher. So you will say he has a sister who is a teacher. So here who is being used to combine two sentences and who refers to which noun? The noun which is given here, sister. So who is relative pronoun. It is used to combine two sentences and it is referring to the noun which is given in the sentence. This is the cobbler. We met him yesterday. So this, when you have to combine these sentences, how will you write? This is the cobbler whom we met yesterday. So this term whom is relative. It is joining the two sentences and it is referring to cobbler, the noun given. So it is a relative pronoun. You know, the terms which are used to combine two sentences. And that term is referring to one of the nouns given in the sentence. Here he has a sister who is a teacher. So we have combined also two sentences and who is used to refer to that sister. Whom is being used to refer to that cobbler. She lost the watch. It was gifted to her. So she lost the watch which was gifted to her. So this is relative pronoun. If it is still not clear to you, let us understand in a reverse way. Don't look at the question, just look at the answer given. He has a sister who is a teacher. If you are given only this sentence, what will you understand? That he has a sister. So this person, there is a person, he has a sister who is a teacher. That means that sister is a teacher. He has a sister who, that is, his sister is a teacher. So we see that this who is actually combining two sentences, that there is a sister, there is a person who has a sister, and that sister is a teacher. And it is referring to sister as the who. Here is not a question. Who is referring to sister. It is referring to a noun. And that is why it is relative pronoun. It is being used in place of sister again. Instead of using sister two times, we are using who. And that is why it is a pronoun. He has a sister. His sister is a teacher. So we are using noun again and again. So to avoid repetition, we are saying he has a sister who is a teacher. And that is why who is a pronoun. Which kind of pronoun? It is a relative pronoun. Why? Because it is used to combine two sentences. It is with practice that you will be able to learn. But remember, the difference is, though the terms seem like who, whom, which, they seem like when you are asking questions. When you are using these terms for asking questions, they are interrogative pronouns. But when you are using them to join sentences, then it is relative pronoun. To relate two sentences, to combine two sentences. So again, do not get confused. Revise all the kinds of noun. Revise, you need to learn the name, what are the terms used, and when is that pronoun used. For example, personal pronoun, I, you, me, we, he, she. These all are personal pronouns. Example, I like to play cricket. What is the personal pronoun? I. Then comes the other kind of noun, interrogative pronoun. Whose house is this? Whom does this pen belong? So what is the interrogative pronoun? You are asking a question here. What is the interrogative pronoun? Whom, because you are asking a question. Then next you can talk about reflexive pronouns. She will do it herself. What is the reflexive pronoun here? Herself. Herself, myself, themselves. These all are reflexive pronouns. Then there is demonstrative pronoun. These books are lying on the table. What is the demonstrative? These, this, that, these. These all are demonstrative pronouns. Then there are indefinite pronouns. Like which one? Somebody, all, none, everybody. Somebody must have done it. What is the indefinite pronoun here? Somebody. So again, you have to revise all these pronouns. Distributive pronouns, each one of them will get a pen. So each is distributive pronouns. Another example you can see, I know his house. He lives in that house. So I know his house where he lives. So that will become the relative pronoun when you are joining two sentences. She's my friend. She's a doctor. So she's my friend who is a doctor. Who will become the relative pronoun. So that is how. And also this possessive pronouns. This book is mine. Mine is possessive pronoun. Hers, yours, theirs. These all are possessive pronouns. So learn all the kinds of pronouns. What are the terms used for them? And when do we use them? With the help of one example. Only then you will be able to recall every kind of pronoun. Because you will get a question. Insert, fill in the blanks with say demonstrative kind of pronoun. So you should be knowing what demonstrative pronouns are. This, that, these. You might get a question, fill in the blanks with reflexive pronouns. So you should be knowing what are reflexive pronouns. Myself, themselves, yourselves. So accordingly you will fill. You should be immediately knowing which kind of pronoun is, what term is used for which kind of pronoun to be able to solve the questions. So again, revise and practice more and more to have a clear idea. Just a last one about these relative pronouns. We can quickly go through some more examples to have a clear idea. Relative pronouns, they are used to combine or join two sentences. We use terms like who. Who is used for people. It is not used for things or animals. We say the woman who called yesterday wants to buy the horse. So we are referring to woman. So that is person. So that is why we are using who. Which is used for things, it is never used for people. It is also used for animals, like, did you see the letter which came yesterday? I love the puppy which is jumping at the kitchen. So which is never used for people or humans, it is used for animals or things. Whose, it is used to show possession, whom does this thing belong to, a person or animal. He is a man whose opinion I respect, so the man's opinion, that is position. She's the student whose handwriting is the best in my class. So they're talking about what? The student's handwriting. So they are using the term whose. Then whom is again used for people or person. The author whom you criticized in your review has written out letter in reply. So the person whom you called yesterday was looking for you. So whom is used for people. That can be used for people also, for things also, for animals also. Like the girl that we met in France has sent us a card. We live in a ground full floor flat that backs onto a busy street. Do you like the cat that is sleeping underneath the table? So that can be used accordingly, for person also, for place, for thing also, for animals also. So it is with practice that you can learn, but remember these terms which are used to join sentences and they refer to the noun, they are called relative pronouns.